Walter Hamada, you need to check in the dictionary for the meaning of the word cul-de-sac, because I think you misunderstood the word. Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and of course now on Vero, also at Movies TV Mad. Let's adjust this. So welcome to Tuesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. And Variety, who have always been, and everyone in the industry over in Hollywood, California, has always known that Variety have been Warner Brothers Pictures' mouthpiece. Of course, they're the mouthpiece of all the huge studios. They've now done a list of their favourite films of 2021. Well, guess what? Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is 8th on that list. Are we sure that's the meaning of the word cul-de-sac? The mouthpiece for Warner Brothers Pictures has listed Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut 8th in their favourite films of 2021. Now, of course, we must understand we live in a creatively bankrupt time, and, you know, it's a big list, but we're not dealing with 1991 or 1992 where there was so many good films. Now, that doesn't say anything bad about the Snyder Cut. It's still fucking amazing, and it's still fucking amazing that it's 8th in Varieties. Again, I'll repeat, the mouthpiece of Warner Brothers Pictures' favourite films of 2021. Now, what's even more interesting is the movies that are above Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. Take a listen to this. Number 1, Spencer, right? Then we go to number 2, House of Gucci. Looking for the MCU movies, can't see them. 3, The Beatles Get Back. Quite right too, if you haven't seen that, check it out. A must for any Beatles fan, but anyway. 4, Drive My Car. 5, Cruella. I mean, it's amazing that Cruella's above Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut, but okay, I'll let it go. They had to put a Disney movie in there, didn't they? 6, Zola. 7, King Richard. And 8th is Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. Shall we read what they say about the movie? Because this is fascinating to me. I don't know how you feel about it, DC fans, but this is amazing. 22 years into the 21st century, if you're a movie fan, chances are you spend more time than you bargained for watching lavishly scaled comic book franchise action films. Those CGI spectacles that are good, bad or indifferent, and seldom very much more. But Zack Snyder's restoring his 4-hour cut of the DC origin story that got Bowdlerized, or whatever that word is, and Whedonized by Warner Brothers, creates a superhero movie with a difference. It's a piece of omnibus glittering, Wagoneering comic book pop. Its superhero backstories unfolding with an imaginative fury. Its battles spilling forth with a dark grandeur worthy of Tolkien. Worthy of fucking Tolkien! Wow! And you know, I'm not laughing because I don't agree with it. I'm laughing because this is the studio. This is the entertainment site that is the mouthpiece. I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but this is the mouthpiece of Warner Brothers Pictures. So let's find that again. Its battles sparkling forth with dark grandeur, worthy of Tolkien. Wow, that's just amazing. Not the Lord of the Rings films, but the dream battles Tolkien wrote on the page. I tell you what, if I was Snyder, that's a bigger compliment than, you know, Jackson's movies. On the page. Wow. All rendered with an incendiary conviction that sweeps you up and won't let go. Now, we're going to look for the MCU movies very shortly because this is fascinating, by the way. Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is Varieties. Again, the mouthpiece of Warner Brothers Pictures. Yeah, did I mention that right? The mouthpiece of Warner Brothers Pictures. It's their favourite, not just their 8th favourite movie of the year. And we've just seen what's above it. Pretty amazing movies, right? Let's be honest. But it's their favourite superhero movie of this year. What does that tell you, everyone? That we're going to restore the Snyderverse. Now, there could be a little bump in the road. At the end of today's video, I will read some kind of troubling developments in the acquisition of the Discovery AT&T merger, because apparently Democrats have sent out letters saying that this is not a good move. But that doesn't really mean anything. But we'll look at it anyway. But anyway, look, this is huge. This is huge. This is, they're fucking comparing, Zack Snyder's Justice League to Tolkien. Not the films, but the things you imagined when you read it on the page. Wow. People, critical media loved this film, mostly. Fans from all around the world, not just us, not just the acolytes, not just DC fans, love this movie. People can't get enough of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And these compliments, it's sensational. It's sensational. What does this mean? Does this mean anything? Yes, it does. Because again, I have to repeat to you. Variety is the mouthpiece of Warner Brothers. I told you months ago, something has changed in the industry toward the attitude towards Zack Snyder. It helped that he went to Netflix and he's doing his thing over there. In the industry, hearing he's doing Rebel Moon, something he pitched to George Lucas to be part of Star Wars, is very exciting. And I think like the Snyder Cut is thus far the hugest thing on streaming ever to come out. I think Rebel Moon will be the biggest original movie of all time, and I'm really excited for it. We are going to restore the Snyderverse. If you needed any more indication that that's what's going on, have no doubt, my friends, that's what's going to happen now. And I mean, I woke up and saw this. Interestingly enough, someone put a mock-up of Varieties article saying that the Snyderverse was done, and on the same picture they had the header for this article and the write-up for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. Guess who posted that mock-up on Vero? Yes, Sir Zack Snyder himself. Now, a few months ago he was talking to Lightcast, and they asked him, if Discovery came to you and asked you to make your movies, what would you say? He said, Zack Snyder, let's go. So if anyone is in any doubt, oh, he's too busy, oh, he's done with it. He's not done. He's never too busy for DC. And we'll just have to be patient. We'd have to wait maybe till 2023 till he can start making it. But Zack Snyder's one of these people who could probably make 2 movies at once. I know it sounds stupid, but wow, the man's ultra talented. But no, seriously, I can be patient. The man's 59, 60, plenty of time, plenty of more of his lifetime to do it. So we just have to be patient. We've waited this long, haven't we? And so this is absolutely sensational. But it goes deeper than this, of course, because HBO Max are creating promotional material for HBO Max, talking about the Snyder Cut, talking about us, the fans, and what we did to get it released, talking about the success of the movie. They're showing fucking pie charts. Do you really think the Snyderverse isn't going to be restored next year? If not by Discovery, then AT&T will do it. We're getting there. This is huge, have no doubt, everyone. But your biggest evidence is that his universe will not be deleted in the Flash movie. They're using his VFX people. Take a think about that for a minute. Yeah, in March when Sarnoff did the interview, it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. As I told you before, that was an emotional reaction to the little bit of a power struggle, the studio and Zack and Ray Fisher were having. It wasn't real. She slapped Zack in the face. And us too, and we weren't happy. Of course we weren't. But as I've already said, things are changing very quickly. But why? How has this happened? Well, money talks and bullshit walks. That's a good saying, isn't it, that us British have come up with. Us British, actually, you Americans, have some great sayings. Yes, money talks and bullshit walks. So the bullshit has walked and the money has spoken. The most successful streaming event of all time, my friends. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think that they were just going to bin it and say, no, we're going to burn all that money? I would even go and say something huger to you. A hot take that you're not going to believe. Zack Snyder's Justice League financially is the most successful superhero movie of 2021. And I can prove it. Well, I can't prove it, but I know it. Let me put it that way. Sponsorships, viewerships, subscriptions on HBO Max, digital sales, hard copy sales. You can now buy Zack Snyder's 4K trilogy. It's all part of the Snyder Cut. The most successful superhero film of 2021. I don't care if you like Snyder. I don't care if you don't like Snyder. This is the most successful superhero movie. And it's the best of this year. Maybe of all time. Or at least one of them. Because there's some greats out there, right? We don't want to be disrespectful to all the great directors that have made great Batman movies. Batman Begins, Nolan. Batman 89, Burton. Batman Returns, Burton. They're some of my favourites. Raimi's Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. You know, these are classic movies. Donner's Superman the movie, you know. They're up there. And Snyder's Snyder Cut is on that list as well now. So should we have a little giggle and look for the MCU movies in this list? This is fun, isn't it? This is funny. You see, a lot of you keep on waving Disney's and the MCU's box office at me like you're saying my sausage is bigger than yours. By the way, yours isn't bigger than mine, I can promise you that. Don't tell your ladies because, you know, they'll be interested. You know, best keep it a secret. Let them think that you're bigger than me. Anyway. So let's look at the MCU. Right, 9, Coda, no. 10, Parallel Mothers. So it's top 10. It's a top 10. Look, I don't think the MCU's even on here. I haven't actually looked at the list before this. So let's look at this again. Right. So this is interesting, right? So let's go back. Actually, I'm getting a bit confused here. Let's go back. Right. The best films of 2021. So we got the original list. This is interesting. This is interesting. There's different lists. So let's check this out. So Owen Gleiberman's has Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut at number 8. This is interesting. So everyone's going to have different tastes. So let's have a look. I always know that Owen Gleiberman did like the Snyder Cut anyway. So let's go down this. Now I get it. So he had a top 10. So this is interesting. Peter DeBrue's top 10. Number 1, Jockey. Number 2, French Dispatch. So I'm not sure the Snyder Cut might not be on his one. 3, June. That's interesting. The other guy didn't have June on there. 4, The Lost Daughter. 5, Nightmare Alley. 6, The Worst Person in the World. 7, Cyrano. 8, Judas and the Black Messiah. 9, Licorice Pizza. So basically this one, 10 Killing of Two Lovers. So this one hasn't got Zack's movies on it. But basically, right, this is like highbrow critics' opinion. So for Zack Snyder to get on Owen Gleiberman's, you know, top 10 list is amazing. And he's 8th. But again, I thought this was going to be a big 100 list. And the MCU would be somewhere and we could laugh at it. So, let's rephrase this again then. Zack Snyder's Justice League is in 8th position of Owen Gleiberman's of Varieties top 10 movies of 2021. The MCU movies, nowhere to be fucking seen. And as I said earlier, right? As I said earlier, rolling my sleeves up, as I said earlier, this is what it's all about, everyone. Opinions, movie enjoyment. How good do movies rate? Not my box office is bigger than yours. Of course, these are companies. And I was having a discussion with a journalist. I think he does a lot of screen rant stuff. And we were discussing this, and he says even though Warner Brothers have their issues, he was so happy with Dune and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And a lot of the movies they make are indie type of movies, not for everyone. And this is where Discovery want to take them back again. They want to take them back to being the older Warner Brothers who made movies for artists and viewers, rather than just a bunch of movies that make lots of money. Now, it's important that you make mainstream movies for the mainstream audience because that's your bread and butter. But this is the difference between Warner Brothers and Disney. Warner Brothers have it about them within their history to make a variety of films. Disney started off making cartoons and adapting fairy tale stories. That's the history of Disney. That's it. Warner Brothers has always made a variety of catalogue of movies. And I think they're heading back for this. But for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut to be in that list of Owen Gleiberman is sensational, everyone. And it shows you the respect Zack is gaining within the industry. This is good. As I will say this again. This has been done for a reason, right? I'm sure Owen is being very genuine. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a fabulous movie. But I'll repeat again, for this movie to be in a very respected critics' top 10 movies of this year, where not one MCU movie gets in, is very telling. And if they're not planning to do so, they should think about this. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 is the future of the way movies are going to be made. Dune is the future. We want to see immersive experiences like the Batman next year from one director's vision. We're going back to this situation, and this is what people will want. People are tired of the sandwich you take a chomp of and then move on, the chewing gum that runs out of flavour quickly. We're all excited for Spider-Man No Way Home, but why are we excited? Because we're going to get a great movie that we're never going to forget? No! Because a lot of characters we love are going to show up from other movies we used to love. And that's it. And there's no guarantee they're going to do these characters justice, by the way. Because Raimi was a consultant, but that's it. It's not his picture. But that's not the point. The point is that Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is one of the best films of this year, and there's no doubt. And if you were wondering if the fight to restore the Snyderverse is worth it, worth your time, well, now you know. It is. Oh, it's a good day to be a DC fan, everyone. Zack Snyder's Justice League getting all the plaudits, and this headline is brilliant too. Colin Farrell to reprise Penguin role in the Batman spin-off series for HBO Max exclusive. We are getting loads of the Batman spin-offs over on HBO Max. This is huge because Matt Reeves is really creating a universe, and that's interesting. I'll be very excited if he actually has some kind of Superman spin-off or Wonder Woman spin-off from his Earth 2. I think something like that would shock and excite a lot of people. Anyway, this is by Joe Otterson of Variety. Colin Farrell has officially signed on to star in an executive producer. Let's say that again. Colin Farrell has officially signed on to star in and executive produce a series spin-off of the Batman, in which he would again play the Penguin. Variety has learned exclusively from sources. Farrell will first portray the villainous character in The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, which is due to be released on March the 4th, 2022. The series would then reportedly delve into the Penguin's rise to power in the Gotham criminal underworld. Variety first reported the series was in development back in September, though Farrell was not attached at that time, but I assumed that was the case. You wouldn't bring anyone else in. I mean, you could do, but when you've got Colin doing it, you're going to have Colin doing it. Lauren LaFranc is attached to write the script for the series, along with Farrell. The Batman director Matt Reeves and film's producer Dylan Clark would executive produce the Penguin series under their 6th and Idaho and Dylan Clark Productions banners, respectively. Warner Brothers Television would produce. Wow. Reps for HBO Max and Warner Brothers Television declined to comment. It's because they're not willing to confirm it yet. Farrell is best known for his many film roles. Well, actually, as I said earlier, Variety is the mouthpiece. They're pretending they don't want to comment. They've told Variety are reporting it. Do you see how this works? Farrell is best known for his many film roles, winning praise for starring in features such as Lobster in Bruges and Seven Psychopaths. On the TV side, he recently starred in the BBC and AMC Plus drama The North Water, and previously starred in True Detective Season 2. Yeah, we know all that, but let's go down this. The Penguin, aka Oswald Cobblepot, is one of the most famous members of the Batman Rogues Gallery, recognisable by his top hat, monocle and wide variety of deadly umbrellas. On the live action side, the character has previously been played by actors like Burgess Meredith, wow, Danny DeVito, wow, and Robin Lord Taylor, bigger wow. Should the Penguin show go forward, it would be the second spin-off series from the Batman at HBO Max. The streamer has already ordered a drama set within the Gotham Police Department, with Joe Barton attached as the showrunner. It is part of Warner Media's attempt to launch a new interconnected Batman universe across all of its platforms. An interconnected Batman universe. We're going to talk about the Batman and we're going to talk about Batgirl and a possible connection in a minute. There are several other live-action DC shows in the works on HBO Max, including the Suicide Squad spin-off Peacemaker, starring John Cena, a Green Lantern series from Greg Berlanti, and a Justice League Dark series from J.J. Abrams, among several others. Variety exclusively reported in November that a pilot based on the DC characters Dead Boy Detectives had set its entire main cast and begun production. I don't know anything about that. I've never even heard of Dead Boys. But anyway, that's huge. So it's good that we now know that Colin Farrell will be playing the character he plays in the Batman. So there's continuity there. He's going to co-write and executive produce this. Colin is a multi-talented man. They never list Phone Booth in his CV, which I think is crazy because I think Phone Booth is his greatest performance. I think he's amazing in that movie. So the Batman is expanding in cinemas and all over HBO Max with at this moment in time, two confirmed spin-offs, Gotham PD and The Penguin television series on HBO Max, which is going to show his rise to power. Colin has admitted that he hasn't got much screen time in the Batman. So this kind of spin-off makes up for that and gives us more of the character, because I think people are going to love him as the Penguin. The makeup is sensational. He doesn't look like Colin Farrell, and it's going to be amazing. I just think what Matt Reeves is doing is he's world building. He's creating his own Earth too, and that's what I say. You know, first it's Batman stuff, then it could be Superman stuff from Earth 2, and it could even be Wonder Woman and lower graded characters as well. This is what's exciting if you're a Matt Reeves and DC fan. Imagine Matt Reeves running his own DC universe, cinematic and television universe. How huge is this? But everyone keeps on asking me, which Batman, Mick, is going to be in Batgirl? Because we know it's happening. We know a Batman's going to be in it. People say, Mick, is it Ben Affleck? Is it Michael Keaton? How about if I tell you my theory? I don't know this. My theory, it's neither Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton. It's my theory that it's actually Robert Pattinson. I've spoken about this a great many times, and my theory hasn't changed, that after Flashpoint, Robert Pattinson's Batman and Bruce Wayne will be part of the central universe. Don't forget, the whole idea is to make the multiverse in its entirety the central universe. Ha! Sorry about that, I had to sneeze, that's why I suddenly paused, yeah. So when we talk about the central DC live action universe after Flash, the whole idea is that the multiverse, as I just said, in its entirety is the central universe. And you can basically have characters from other Earths, other live action kind of iterations pop into Earth 1 or Earth 2. We're going to have two Earths now. No more than that for the time being, but we're going to have 2 Earths. But it's all going to be centralised. So it's very interesting. So I do think there's a possibility, as I've mentioned many times before, that Robert Pattinson could still be the DC Extended Universe's main Batman. It could be a reality, and very sad for us Snyderverse fans, that Ben Affleck's Batman and Bruce Wayne could be deleted or killed off by the end of the Flash movie. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But when you're hearing things like that from Variety when they're rating the Snyder Cut, it will be suicide to kill him off, wouldn't it? So let's see what happens. You know, people saying, well, it's Michael Keaton, which is quite probable. We don't know what's going to happen after Flashpoint, but we don't even know when Batgirl actually is going to get released, before or after Flashpoint. These are interesting scenarios we're going to have to wait and see about. I was thinking about Henry Cavill the other day, and he was on Good Morning Britain. It's a British Good Morning television show. And he was talking about his dog Cal, who he named after Superman. That's how much he loves the character. He was saying that he still has the Man of Steel costume at home. And he wears it. And he's waiting for the phone call to wear it officially. So, if you're a trusting person, which I'm not, you'd think, oh my God, he's not in Black Adam. He's not in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, but Mick, you said! Calm down. He's playing with us. Think about this. I want you to think about this. Use your common sense. Prior to the promotion of The Witcher, Cavill hadn't mentioned Superman for a year, 2 years. Why is it suddenly he's talking about Superman? Because something is cooking. Something has happened. He has already played Superman in a couple of cameos. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure they're in Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Both movies have wrapped, right? So, expect to see him. Don't take everything he says literally, but it's very interesting that he's talking about Superman again. But I do think about Henry a lot and how much he loves playing Superman and how well he played Superman. You think there's a gorgeous 6-foot actor who was born to play Superman, ribbed, everything. And he hasn't had an appearance since 2017. That's crazy. That's insane. He deserves better, and we deserve better. And finally today, I think a lot of us are looking forward to next year's Warner Brothers Discovery AT&T merger, but there could be bumps in the road. AT&T CEO dismisses Democrats' antitrust concerns about Warner Media Discovery merger as unfounded. By Todd Spangler, again from Variety. Again, Warner Brothers mouthpiece. So they're trying to iron out, explain what's going on here, so nobody thinks this is not happening, you know, that Wall Street doesn't get nervous. So let's give this a look. John Stankey, CEO of AT&T, said an effort by Democratic leaders in Congress to characterize the proposed merger of Warner Media and Discovery as anti-competitive threat to the media industry was unfounded. What is articulated in those letters is really unfounded, said Stankey, speaking Monday at UBS's Global TMT conference, referring to a communication from several Democratic senators and representatives to the Justice Department urging scrutiny of the Warner Media Discovery deal. Right, that's very important. The language there is important. Scrutiny. So they're telling the Justice Department, you know, make sure you look at the I's and the T's and everything's been crossed properly. Make sure there's nothing nefarious going on here. So these are normal things, as John Stankey is saying. Stankey said the foundation of their concerns expressed in the letter is not very strong and said he isn't worried about AT&T's ability in navigating through that. Getting letters from Congress is not unusual, Stankey added. We are a large company. We are in a lot of businesses. Overall, from a regulatory review perspective, there's nothing unusual about this transaction, Stankey asserted. The letter to the DOJ sent by Democratic members of Congress said in part about the pending Warner Media Discovery deal, this transaction raises significant antitrust concerns. In particular, the merger threatens to enhance the market power of the combined firm and substantially lessen competition in the media and entertainment industry. You mean like the Disney 20th Century Fox deal that you did nothing about? Yeah, nothing can be done here because other deals have gone through, and that's all AT&T and Discovery have to say. Lessen competition in the media and entertainment industry, harming both consumers and American workers. In light of these concerns, we respectfully urge the department to conduct a thorough review of this transaction to ensure that it does not harm American consumers and workers by illegally harming competition. So they're just asking them to make sure to look at the details. That's it. There, as Stanky says, there is no threat here. There is nothing to worry about. I just thought I'd go through it because it's interesting for us DC fans, isn't it? The letter was spearheaded by US House member Joaquin Castro of Texas, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, House member David Cicilline of Rhode Island, chair of the House Antitrust blah blah blah. According to Stanky, AT&T remains on track to complete the Warner Media deal with Discovery in mid-2022. I've seen nothing in this process that is out of pattern or out of skew. He said at the UBS conference, I feel good about the process, is the net of it. At this point, the telecommunications company has not decided whether it will divest Warner Media as a spin-off in which AT&T shareholders would receive stock in the new Warner Media Discovery, or as a split in which shareholders would have the choice to take shares of AT&T or the new media company. The AT&T board continues to discuss this, blah, blah, blah. AT&T spinning of Warner Media to combine it with Discovery, a transaction expected to close in mid-2022. Pending regulatory approvals under the planned Warner Media spin, the telco will receive $43 billion in cash to pay down debt. I think we're going down to the business stuff, which we don't need to read, a bit boring. But anyway, the long of the short of it is, don't worry about this deal at this point. It's going smoothly. Of course, people in the Senate and the House are going to be concerned. They're going to ask, the Justice Department to do their due diligence. But this move is going to happen because other moves are going to happen. This deal is taking so long, and let me explain to you. This is the hugest merger in the world, right? And it's the hugest merger that's ever happened in the entertainment industry. But it's going to happen, and this means a new dawn will begin for Warner Discovery, Warner Brothers Pictures. The right people will be ousted. They will go back to making director-driven, immersive experiences, and we will restore Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. This has been the DCEU Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection, and I'll see you again tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. Till then, goodbye. Peace out.